Good morning, everybody. Good morning. How's everyone doing on this wonderful Sunday morning? What's everybody up to? What's everybody getting into today? As everyone can see, I'm getting ready to do something, a little something to slush box. So basically today, what we're gonna do here is we're going to tighten up the rear suspension. It's still on stock suspension, stock springs, stock struts. So as God only knows how long this suspension's been on this car. If anyone actually pays attention and watches this car leave, you notice that the back end goes down to the point where the rear fender is basically covering about 75% of the tire, and it just closes the gap completely and the car goes down. And then if you really look at it, the car bounces in the rear like twice and then it actually unloads the front tires a lot. So the mission is to basically tighten up the rear suspension and get it to quit squatting. That way we'll have a better ET and it doesn't unload the front tires. The car will hook a lot better. Probably get a better 60-foot too. So basically what I want to do real quick is show you guys how much this bad boy bounces, or how easy I take and push down on this. And it's hard to really show you. Hold on. See if I can set this phone up so you can see how easy this bad boy bounces. Hold on. Bear with me, y'all. So I'm doing my videos with a iPhone. So, but see if you be able to see it, but the car, I mean, it's very sloppy. It's very soft in the back, and it's, when it leaves, it squats very easy. So we're trying to prevent that from happening. So I don't know if you guys could make that out real good with where I had the phone set up. Hopefully you could. So, but yeah, that's the idea. So let me jack this bad boy up real quick for y'all. See. As everyone see, we got the windows tinted yesterday. Looks a lot better. I'm gonna get some of them stickers off the window too. She said something about that the other day. Didn't like all those stickers, but I kind of like to represent the events that we attend and stuff like that, and people that we deal with, but some of them can go. All right, so you can see that's basically the rear suspension setup on a Ford Escort. It's just McPherson strut with the spring. And what's happened is the spring, these seals, I mean, it feels kind of oily. I don't know if you can see that, but the seals are probably shot in them. They're probably 30 plus years old. So of course, when you start making power with a car this old and the suspension's still stock, then yeah, you run into a little bit of issues. So the plan is to basically tighten that all up and get that squared off. So basically the plan is we're gonna use these D2 coilovers here. See, D2s. Now, mind you, I found these D2s in the junkyard off of a 2006 through 2011 Hyundai Accent, and the front spindle will bolt right up to this. It bolts right up, no mods, no nothing. You probably just have to try. Of course, you got to change the top hat, but the spindle on the front of a Ford Escort 91 all the way through 2003 is the same bolt pattern there. Not so much for the rear. And all this time, me messing with Escorts, I always thought that the rear spindle and the front spindle had the same bolt spacing. I was wrong, and they actually have different size, different widths of the spindle as well. The spindles is different widths between the front and the rear. So basically, I'm going to convert these to work on the back. So in doing that, I'm going to have to chop these off, and I'm going to just weld the factory mounts onto this collar, onto this mount. So yeah, I mean, I could probably, you know, not probably, but I actually talked to D2, and D2 actually does sell these mounts separate, but the mounts are $120 with about $90 shipping. So it was like, that's $400 some in mounts. I mean, I could do a lot with that money. So I just decided to say, hey, only thing we got to do is just modify this, chop this off, and okay, of course, widen them out. You know, once we measure there, figure out what the measurement is there, we'll have to widen those, and then we'll put the we'll put those mounts off of the lower, off of the strut, off of that, the strut mounts off of that, we'll be putting on this strut mount itself. So make it work for the rear. But these springs are 11.5 kilograms, so that's equivalent to about a 650 pound spring. So we're gonna try these and see how the car likes it. I can guarantee you that it'll be a whole lot stiffer, and it definitely won't be squatting in the rear when it leaves this time. But we're gonna see how the spring rate works. If it doesn't work as good, we'll change up, you know, and see if I can go for like a little stiffer or something like that, you know. But I think these will work pretty well. But yeah, it sucks. I hate cutting these, but you know, I mean, they don't work for the back, so it is what it is, you know. Hey, it saves me almost $500 in mounts, and it also saves me, you know, of course they make these D2s for the Escort, but it also saves me like $1,200 for a set of coilovers. So this is just basically an experimental thing. I want to see how these work on the rear of this car to keep it from squatting. So that's basically all. So yeah, let me see, grab my tape measure here, and see, like, this is the, so that's the front spindle right there, right? And that front spindle works with that strut, with the Hyundai strut. So I just wanted to measure just to see how wide. So you're looking at about 1 inch wide there. Yeah, about 1 inch wide. So here, it's about right at 1 inch wide, so it's perfect. Now, the back, I'm gonna measure that real quick. So let me pop that rear wheel off, and so we can see the